The Grow My Cleaning Company podcast helps owners of cleaning companies just like you to grow your company and yourself so you can make more money and finally get the time and money freedom that probably got you into this business. Discover how to automate and create systems that allow you to grow like crazy without losing control. If you dig the show and want to show some love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. It really helps. Enjoy the show. Hey, Clean Nation, Mike Campion here with my BFF, Tamara Molar. And I was beaten into submission. I called her Tamara, like an adult human male, 4.5 times, and she wasn't having it. So now, after, I don't know, gosh, it's almost been 9 weeks, it feels like, in the program, I now know her to be Tamara Molar. This lady is, I don't know how else to say it, girlfriend just kicking butt and taking names. And I'm so excited. Selfishly, I just wanted 20 or 30 minutes with her to be like, tell me your story. What's going on? Because I have bits and pieces, but I kind of get confused. And also, I know she will be fascinating to you. So that said, and by the way, I usually see her like regular tomorrow. Those of you that are joining us on video, this is fancy tomorrow. We got makeup and hair. Girlfriend looks like a whole situation. I didn't know she was so good looking. I thought she was an average tomorrow, but who knew? She's a hottie. So those of you that want to join us on, the video, you can see the loveliness that is tomorrow. All right. So just for fun, give me A, how long have you been in the program? B, where were you at? And C, where are you at now? Like, let's just hit all that stuff.
Okay. So I think I'm like week 6 or something. In the program.
Okay. Perfect. So month and a half sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. And started my business in April.
And we were recording this October. So April 20, we're in 2022. So however many, 6, 7, 8 months. So April to October. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you started in April. We started working together beginning of September. It's now middle of October. Got the timeline.
Yeah. And so I guess when I started, it picked up really quickly, and I just kept getting referrals, and I was soon at like capacity. Like I was working with a friend, and like I couldn't take many more people. And I just was like, I don't want to keep cleaning. But I like the business side of things. I hadn't really worked on the business side of things. I was just cleaning a lot. And so I guess I got probably a Facebook. I'd seen you around, and I was like, who is this guy? And I was like,
I'm going to pull that clip out, by the way, just that little, who is this guy? I'm going to find a place to put that little sound bite. Because it sounds,
it was like he's like talking to me. Like, how does he know that I have a cleaning business and I want to grow? Like, who is this guy? And, so I don't know. I think I just clicked on one of your informational things, and I got a phone call or something. And I was like,
all right. So real quick, as fascinated as I am about me and my business, we're not here to, they don't care about that. Okay. They want to hear about you. So let's talk about you. And just over the last 6 weeks, what has changed in your business, and more importantly, in your life? Like, what's going on? And just, talk with me.
Well, gosh, I'm just learning so much on everything. I feel like it's almost too overwhelming to even like put it into words, because I didn't realize how a business should or could be run in the way that it is with what you're doing. I think there's such an advantage for me for being so new. Like, I don't have a lot of bad habits. I don't have like, things that I thought were working that aren't working. Like I just have someone telling me what to do that knows what to do, and it feels really good. And so I'm just like, okay, Mike says to do that, I'm going to try that, and so it feels really good in that way. But I also feel like I have a disadvantage because I'm not familiar with business. I'm not familiar with a lot of the online stuff that happens. So I feel like there's a lot of learning and kind of going through things that maybe a lot of people like right now I'm hiring, and I've got one of the friends that I met on program. And I'm just always back and forth with her because she's got staff, and I'm like, okay, what do you do when this happens? And what do you do with this? So in some ways I have to learn a lot, but I love that I'm learning it the right way the first time. So So
let me give you and Clean Nation a little bit of encouragement, because you actually said a lot that if we can, I'd like to unpack for a second. First, I think a lot of us as humans have the grass is always greener tendency. And I found the grass is always, the grass is always greener on their side. I'm little, I wish I was big and blah, blah, blah. But I found the grass is always greener where you water it. So
Mm,
I love that you see the value because yeah, we've got some, people maybe doing $1 million and it looks different for them. But when they have to try and undo and redo, it's the difference between a guy with a bad golf swing and no golf swing.
yeah.
Honestly, I'd rather teach a guy with no golf swing as opposed to having to undo all the stuff. So certainly they have some advantage in terms of maybe staffing and experience, but a lot of that experience is bad. So I love that you're kind of focused on where you want to be. The second thing is it is very common for people to feel like, I know how to clean, but I don't have any business experience.
Mhm.
The acknowledgement of that, super healthy, right? Like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to find someone that does and get some help. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Where it gets into problems is where you get debilitated. Well, I don't know business and I don't know that. And people tend to swing one too far. One is, I'll just figure it out. I'll never give up. I'll work harder. It's all going to work itself out. And that is awful because those people, the carcasses of those businesses are just at the side of the road everywhere. It's so sad. The other side is, it is too. So we kind of we put on rose colored glasses and pretend like I'll just figure it out. It's not a real thing. How hard can cleaning be? And we don't even recognize the real issues that are out there. That's awful because you get hit in the head. You don't even know what you never saw coming. The flip side is I'm too dumb. It's too hard. I can't do tech. We tell ourselves a bunch of lies and then we debilitate ourselves and do nothing, just clean till we die. Almost equally sad. So I love your space of, yeah, this isn't something I knew when I started and I'll get some help and I'm a bright gal and I can follow instructions. Like doesn't sound like a big deal, but you're making the right amount of headache over the headache, right? You're not minimizing which will kill you and you're not maximizing which will kill you. You're like, yeah, it ain't easy. And there's a reason not that many people are successful business owners, but I'm smart and I can figure this out and I get some help. And I love that attitude.
Mhm.
Second, I love the community, right? Like you going, we don't assign buddies in our program. I
Yeah.
didn't tell Tamara, like, you call this person, but I love that. And Tamara's so sweet, or Tamara, sorry, always shows up so well. So I'm not surprised that you've got one or probably two or three that you kind of connect with and keep tabs on each other. So that said, a big reason I have, aside from loving to brag on you guys, on the podcast is, we have tens or hundreds of thousands of listeners and we can only take a couple dozen folks per month. So for everyone that just for whatever reason we can't take or is on a timing fit, I try and give them as much value as possible. So what would you say to those folks that are in your position of, well, I got really good at cleaning and I finally got to the point of, I don't want to clean anymore. I want to learn how to be a business person, but I'm scared and I can't do it and I'm overwhelmed. Well, what would you say to those people?
Hmm. Um, I think that the thing that comes to my head is that, yeah, I felt like when I first started the program, I did that. I thought, how am I going to do this program and keep cleaning and, and do all the things that I need to do to start working on my business when I'm in like full capacity cleaning all the time. And I don't know. I think it's like just doing the next thing, like
Mm,
instead of like picturing like, oh, this big business that you're wanting, like I know that like in 5 minutes I have to do this, or I know that tomorrow I have to do this, instead of like feeling so overwhelmed that there's just so much to do. Oh my gosh, I'm never going to get it all done. Um, I think I really had to slow down in that way. Like it was like, okay, hold on. There's a system and Mike, it's it's hard and fast, but you have it like it's set up and it's like I just have to do the next thing. I can clean this house. I can clean this house. I can listen to whatever. I can, do the next thing and I don't feel as overwhelmed that there's so much to do. I don't know. Maybe that's how I kind of handled it. Yeah.
First of all, I love that. So not only do I agree, let me give an example. So regardless of your spiritual beliefs, I think most of us would agree Jesus was one of the more influential people in history.
Mhm.
I don't know anyone else 2000 years ago. So regardless of your beliefs there, I think we'd all agree fairly influential. He's only lived for 33 years. I would say got quite a bit done, certainly compared to myself or probably everybody listening. One of my favorite things when you look at that is he never ran, he never rushed. He only really hung out with 12 guys. Like he was very just meets a woman at a well and talks with her, like meets this person and talks with them. So I think that, and again, his, whatever he did was, still reverberating 2000 years down the road. And I, as much as excited as I am about our company, I don't know that 2000 years from now, anyone's going to remember me.
Right.
And I promise I work at a much faster, I got to do 1,000 things. So we do have a model of, hey, just do one thing at a time, do it well, and then move on to the next thing, and just give myself permission. In systems and processes like we teach, will help you make sure you're working on the right thing, right? Because if you're working on the wrong things, doesn't matter how fast you do them, you're just going to get in the wrong direction faster. But I love your picture, Tamara, of just giving yourself permission to be like, I don't want to be cleaning forever, but if I'm choosing to clean 2 houses today, well, when I'm cleaning those 2 houses, I'm just going to clean those 2 houses. And if I want to listen to some podcasts to help, great. And if I just want to listen to music, great. Or if I want to just daydream, great. I'm going to give myself permission to do that. So I think, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'll say it how I would say it. You can tell me if we're tracking. Instead of trying to do more adequate things at one time, just make sure you're working on the right thing at any given time and do that really well, and then move on. Don't worry about, yeah, I'm cleaning toilets today, but and I might be tomorrow, might even be in 2 weeks, but in 3 months, I shall not be. And then that gives a whole nother, now I'm answering phones that, now instead of being trapped cleaning toilets, I'm trapped in the office. And yeah, I just like that idea of, I'm going to do one thing at a time. I'm going to focus on that, and I'll do the next thing. And I'm going to make sure I'm doing the right thing. But other than that, I'm going to give myself a little permission. Did I totally twist your words, or is that?
No, I think you hit it pretty good. Yeah, because I think that's one thing that I've been kind of, especially with the mindset calls with Suzanne, like, she helps you stay pretty grounded and not get so lost in all the details. Yeah, I think being present with where you're at in the moment. Okay, to this, and it was really helpful in the beginning. That's what you have us do, to the time blocking. Like, okay, this is what we're doing right now. I'm cleaning right now, or I'm spending time with the kids right now. And that just being present in what you're doing and knowing that you're getting to a destination. You're getting there. You may not be there, tomorrow, but you're getting there. So
yeah, and that one of the first, just like Tamara said, one of the first things we teach is boxing time. And that's so important, because as much as I love my son, he's not here right now. And if he was, I'd be like, I'm with Tamara, and I'm trying to give value to Clean Nation, and I can't pay attention to him. And if I'm beating myself up, or you're a bad dad and he wants you, and he would tell me, stop, Dad, pay attention to me, but I got to be an adult and go, I'm not going to do that right now. That said, in a couple hours, I'm going to go get him. And as much as I love you all, I'm not going to think about you at all. I'm going to be playing with my boy, and I don't care about you all at all. And I think a lot of us feel guilty when we're working that we should be with our family, and where the family feel guilty we should be working. And it's like, why do that? Let's just make a decision of where, like right now I've made a decision, and I'm married. I have 2 sons. None of them are getting my attention. I'm totally okay with that. Right. Like, why not? And then later tonight, as much as I love you guys and want to serve you, I'm not going to be thinking about you all. I'll be with my kids. So I love that giving permission. All right, let's talk some brass tacks. And there's no right or wrong answer. I want to hear your story. So revenue, same, higher, lower than when we started. And then profit, same, higher, lower. And then cleaning hours for Tamara, same, lower, higher.
Okay.
I'm with the rest of the audience. I'm excited to hear the answer.
Yeah. Okay. So profit is it's a little hard to tell, because it's been 6 weeks. So I've only had one pay period where I actually had people, pay at the first of the month. And so that felt really good. I'll say that, having all that, nice income in one, fell swoop was really awesome. So I feel like I'm making more profit because it's there. But it's hard.
Cash flow definitely improved. Profit, that's fair. You're like, well, it's only been a month. Like, why don't, because I'm not looking for weekly profit, like monthly. Okay. So profit, cash flow better. Profit, we feel good about, but we need more time to, and maybe we'll have you on 2-3 months and we'll like get some better data. Okay. So profit, feel good, but no data. Cash flow, data. We have more cash than we had before, because that's all coming at the beginning.
Yes.
Fair. All right. What about revenue? Picked up accounts, lost accounts, stayed the same?
I'm constantly picking up accounts. Well, I'll say that, aside from the last coaching call that we had, you were talking about raising prices rather than putting people on a waiting list. And I kind of had to stop doing that, because I had put a few people on a waiting list, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just raise prices. But people, I don't know. That is sort of one of the things that has come easy pretty much with my business, is I haven't really had to put a lot into finding business, because I guess people just, I don't know, it's word of mouth referrals. There's a lot of people that say, hey, I got your number from so-and-so.
So then let's talk about the important things. How much more capacity have you had? Because what I hear you saying is, well, first of all, hopefully you guys caught that. I was going to let it slide, but I can't. Tomorrow's like, I had so many people, my demand outstripped my supply. It was just, we're going to talk about your supply in a second if that's increasing, because before it was just Tamara and her 2 hands and her willingness to clean toilets. That's obviously limited. So what she was saying is, well, I put people on a waiting list. And I think a lot of people are proud. I've got a waiting list 100 long. It's like, it's stupid that if you're anytime kids, ladies, gentlemen, people, humans, your demand outstrips your supply, it's time to raise prices, right? So if you can do the same amount of work just for more profit. Okay. So that said, how's your cleaning hours, your hiring? What do we got? You have nobody, you got 100 people. What's going on over there? So we started, I think it was you and a partner. So it wasn't really a cleaner because she was just getting paid for her work. You were getting paid for your work. That you finally got untangled. So it's just you, which is
right.
We don't have to get the details, but much better for you and probably for your partner, right? You got your own like universes here. What about, so it was just technically you. Is it still you? Do you got some people? What's going on? Have you increased your supply?
Hire. Yeah.
Okay. So you've doubled your capacity.
Yeah. But it was sort of coincided with like letting go or, like departing with my partner. So it was like, I never really did a whole lot of cleaning by myself. So I've always had 2 with me and someone else. So bringing the hire on was more of like replacing my friend. So I'm still kind of at that same place. I'm wanting another hire, maybe like a team of 2, 2 and 2. But I feel like that would definitely get me out of most of the cleaning. But it's a little slow moving for me as far as hiring goes. So, but I'm digging in. So
you're one person, was that? Because again, there's, by the way, guys, gals, most of you out there, if you really put your mind to it, could figure out how to hire a couple people. The problem comes in when you want a system and a process to always have staff. Because what happens, we go from it's just me, so I've got a couple of helpers, to I'm out of the cleaning as long as everyone shows up and no one takes a vacation, no one gets COVID and no one calls in late, and no one gets sick, and I don't have to fire anyone. And there's like a list of things that if everything goes perfect, but it doesn't go perfect, and we get called into cleaning all the time. So the way we get out of that is we have a system to get people. So the hire that you have, did that come through your hiring funnel and system and process that's duplicatable, or is it just a friend or somebody, which you only get half points for?
Okay. So ideally, I set everything up so that she would go through the funnel. It turns out that there were some missing links in my funnel. And I think just, so she went through the funnel because she did go through it, but it was like it was really choppy.
But was it a stranger or was it a friend or some of your warm?
Oh, it was from like ZipRecruiter.
Okay. So you did have a funnel. You had paid advertising that went through a funnel. Your funnel wasn't working perfectly, but you still got a good.
Yes.
Well, we haven't got to good yet. We still have an employee. We'll talk about if she's good. Okay. So you do have you did have a system that wasn't you hustling and bustling. You kind of did your group interview. You followed the system. It was paid traffic. It wasn't ideal, but you got a system and there's more people in that funnel. Okay. So that makes me feel better. Because again, I got my brother to help me work. It's like, well, great. How are you going to scale that? Or what about, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, nope, I had a stranger that turned into an applicant, that turned into an interview, that turned into a working interview, that turned into a real life person. Perfect. Now let's talk core values. How good of an employee is she? And how do you know that she's good or bad?
Yeah, I have to say, like, because I've never hired before, but I am so grateful for the way that everything was set up to hire an individual, because that's something on my part. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so nice. I don't want to hurt their feelings. But it's like, it's easy for you to go, you know what? I mean, and I didn't have to do this with her. Like I knew pretty much right away. I was like, I think she's a core values fit. I want to talk to her again. And so I set up an interview the next day and just talked with her. And just the questions, everything that you have lined out is just, it takes off so much pressure. Like I love what you said to somebody about like raising prices. Just think in your mind, well, Mike told me to do it. Instead of like the pressure on you to like be the bad person. So I love that. Like it was all set up like, okay, I asked her the questions that were to be asked and she, answered in ways that I felt like I was looking for a core values match. And I just feel like she's been great. I mean, she's been working with me for a week, and she's super excited and seems excited to be there and loosening up. I had some thoughts about her like being a little like, I don't know, she kind of serious, but she's got some dry humor that's really fun. So yeah, really working out. And
All right. So let me sum up what I think I've heard you say so far, and then we're going to let you finish with biggest challenge you've got coming up and thing you're most excited about. So we'll kind of do that. So what I hear you saying is it's only been 6 weeks. So that's, it's not nothing in terms of time, but it's not 3 or 4 months. So we went from getting paid every time you did a job, I'm assuming. So kind of collecting money. Yeah. Futzing with that to everyone pays at the beginning. And by the way, if everyone's like, oh, Mike's a great coach, or Tamara's pretty damn coachable. So we're going to give Tamara the credit for that because we coach and we help, but we can't make Tamara do anything she wants to do. So cash flow's certainly gotten better. Sounds like profitability has gotten better. So you've got the same amount of capacity. So you're doing the same amount of work. You're just doing it for more money. Did I hear that or did I make that up?
Yeah.
Okay. So certainly whatever the revenue went up, not because we added customers so much as we are just getting more money for the same amount of work, which is when you only have a certain amount of capacity, that's a great way to go. So we're getting paid earlier, we're getting paid more. And we traded a partner who was like, hey, we're kind of going to go together and you'll get your part of the business and we each get the part that we work, but this is yours and this is mine, to now an employee where this is all mine. And I just pay you a wage to do it. Is that a fair?
Yep.
Okay. Any other big pluses or minuses that have happened in the last 6 weeks, or is that a good summary? Not to mention Tamara really growing as an entrepreneur. Like, honestly, that's the external, what you all in Cleaning Nation world can get. But the internal that I see Tamara growing, that's what's really exciting. But again, until we do another podcast with her 6 months from now, you won't be able to see the growth. But from my perspective, Tamara, who you are as an owner has been leaps and bounds. Like, just you are more confident, you're more competent. It's so fun to watch you grow as a leader. So that's my encouragement. All right. So that said, what is the big scary thing you've got coming up? And what's the thing about your business you're most excited about? And we'll close it out with that.
Big scary thing. I actually have to leave town next week. That's my big scary thing. And I got some help. I'm jumping through hoops trying to get, I've never had to cancel on my clients. And I feel like I'm in a place where I might have to say, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can make your clean this week. So that's a big scary thing for me. But I don't know. I just feel like I don't know if anything is scary. There's sort of like this weighted anticipation. Like, I feel like there's good things coming. So I'm
just going to tell you how I see it. You can tell me if I'm missing anything. What I hear you saying is you're going to leave town next week. Some of the cleanings you're going to get done with whoever your partner is. And one of two things will happen. You'll have to miss cleaning, which ain't great because you're going to miss income, but you can say, hey, I took a charge of my life. I took a vacation. I chose to do something. So that's a small win. The big win, because I think you're pretty daggum smart, Tamara, is you hire someone, you sort it out. And for the first, I don't know how long you'll be gone, a week or whatever, you get paid exactly the same and you don't do any of the work. That will be super sexy. Or maybe a little less because you won't get paid the $15. You have to pay your cleaner, but your business will continue as uninterrupted without you being there. So that's the best case scenario. Worst case is you take a little control of your life, you get a daggone vacation, and you have to put some clients off. So that's not a bad. Okay, so is that the scariest thing and the most excited thing, kind of all wrapped up in one?
I think so. That's sort of the only thing that comes to my mind, but I might think of something later.
You got to tell Lindsay in 3 months to have you back on because I'm dying to like kind of get the update. And I love your story, Tamara, because honestly, it's funny. When we invited her on, I didn't know what kind of results. We haven't talked about this before. So when I ask revenue, profit, time, like I didn't know if she's going to be a spectacular, like, look at that. We have some people like, I doubled my profit or whatever. And some people, I think I like your story, Tamara, because the reason I wanted you on was I didn't even look at your outcomes. I looked at you. Like, I'm so proud of you as a woman, as an entrepreneur, as a leader. And it's almost to me like a foregone conclusion that you are going to be awesome. So we kind of take a snapshot 6 weeks in. I'm like, it's interesting, but I know you're going to, here, I'm going to make a prediction on recording. So I'll forget, but don't forget to come back on. Within 6 months, I am predicting, I can't wait for the podcast to do this. You'll have to remind me I predicted this because I'm going to forget about it. Okay. And if I miss, remind me and I'll own it, but I don't think I will. Within 6 months from now, we're recording October 21st, 2022. So I'll give myself a little June 1st, October 23 or June 1st, 2023. I'm predicting whatever Tamara was taking home the day she joined us, she will be taking home the same, but doing no cleaning, and not having cleaned for a month. So June, all of May, at least, probably more, same income. So we'll have you back on June 1st or the month of June. That is my prediction. Either come on and prove me wrong, we'll talk about that, or I'll brag and crow, and I think you're gonna do much better. I'm making what I think is a stupid, easy, obvious, like in our sleep. So you'll actually crush that. Anyway, closing words to Cleaning Nation. I'm gonna let you close us out, sister. What words of wisdom do you want to give to our friends out there?
I think one of the things that popped into my head, something you said, not really sure where, but I was celebrate. You said looking at me as a person, and I think there's two things about this. One is surround yourself with people that support you and celebrate you, not just what you do. And along with that, like before that can happen, you have to find that within yourself. You have to do that with yourself, celebrate you and support yourself. And then it's no problem finding people that will do that with you. So I love that.
Such an attractive mindset. That is, who wouldn't want to follow that lady, right? Who wouldn't want to be a part of that team? All right. I know I'll get to spend some more time with you, but Cleaning Nation will pick up with Tamara 6 months in the future. Can't wait to meet future Tamara. She's going to be amazing. Cleaning Nation, if you're like, hey, this all sounds amazing, I need more, go to growmycleaningcompany.com. I don't think there's anything for sale there at all, but there's over 850 podcasts. I would start with the free masterclass. It is amazing. We're on Instagram, YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. growmycleaningcompany.com. Check it out. See you there. Well, here we are, the end of the podcast, and you made it. Great job. I've got a little bonus for you for sticking through with me, but like I mentioned before, if you got value out of this podcast and you want to show a little love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Spotify, wherever the heck you're listening to this thing. Share with a friend, share the love. And as a special thank you for those of you that stuck with me to the end, how about I give you my personal phone number so we can text? It's a great way for me to get to know you, your business, your goals personally. So shoot me a text now, 602-932-6431. 602-932-6431. I am the only one who responds to these texts, and I will personally respond to everyone I possibly can as long as this number is manned. Don't know how long we're going to keep this at the end of the podcast, so grab it now. 602-932-6431. Give me a text, say hey, can't wait to meet you.